Hi, I'm Dr. Jerome Maruka. Today I'm going to be introducing you to two very valuable pieces of equipment we use literally on every single person, whether it's our family practice and all populations that includes, or the elite strength and conditioning athletes that we work with. The first one we're going to introduce you to is called the Calf Master. Now this looks incredibly simple, but the dynamic benefits that are provided to elite athletes as well as people within our clinics is really invaluable. So I always like finding incredibly useful tools in each of the industries, such as strength and conditioning and the clinical industries, and overlap them. And this is one of those. This initially was made for elite athletes that require significant amount of speed and change of conditions. So for an NFL cornerback, this would be an ideal training tool in order to work the muscles of the feet, to build quickness, to build proprioception. Now, how does that carry over into our clinics? When we look at the aging population, and there's always a significant concern of seniors falling. So anytime we can increase strength, increase range of motion, that's really going to help significantly even in the aging process. But what's even better is you can actually help reverse some of those aging symptoms and build literally neural synapses in people's brains. So how simple this is as we just put this down. Ultimately, you would like people to be able to do this without holding on to any support. Now, I do train this somewhat regularly, and this looks somewhat easy, but as you do this on people, you're going to find out a lot of people have to hold on for dear life onto a wall in order to do this. So you want to do it methodically, nice and controlled. Again, the portability is excellent. For most people, you're going to start them on support on a wall, and very easily you want it nice and controlled. Now, the dynamics that you can do with this, there's multiple levels of exercises. We can do 2 feet. We can do 1 foot at a time, and the key is to hold on as little as possible to none and develop that coordination. And what's kind of neat from a clinical standpoint is that you will find incredible asymmetries, where one side is easier for the person than the other side. This right here shows us when there's neurological weaknesses that can even pair to upper motor neurons. So we know the left cerebellum controls left side voluntary motion, and the right cortex controls left side voluntary motion. So even in the clinic, obviously we want people to do this regularly so they can literally exercise to build the muscles. But what you're really doing is you're building the nervous system prior to building the muscles. And we can even take the zirconia laser and laser specifically the different lobes of the brain, and you will see changes immediately when you do those things. But then, of course, we want the reinforcing in terms of having people this a regular part of their exercise. Now, with athletes, think again, ankle sprains are so common. And if we can prevent some of those in terms of increasing the conditioning and the strength, it is really just so ideal in terms of what you can do for the conditioning of athletes as well. And of course, some of the faster rate, you always want to do it controlled. Now, there's also different foot positions. So everybody lives in the sagittal plane with their feet. And so one of the benefits that this provides us is then to train the foot muscles and the calf muscles in different planes than what you're used to. But of course, in open skilled motions, you're moving your feet in a variety of different positions. So I'm going to take my feet and I'm going to put them kind of pigeon-toed on this significantly. And when you get one of these, this is an amazing feeling to muscles you don't even know you had before. And so once again, you can do both feet and you can do 1 foot at a time. Very different, very beneficial, very safe and controlled. And again, think of the benefits that you're making, strengthening that entire joint. Now we just did my feet in. We're now also going to do the feet out. Same type of concept. Pointing the toes out, works the feet in different planes of motion. Very significant benefits as far as training the muscles where there is a possibility of a lot of asymmetries and weaknesses. Now, even in the senior populations, we have people with knee replacements that are doing this. Think of how prevalent plantar fasciitis in knee pain is. So we do all the typical clinical applications, and then we enhance it, of course, with percussor adjuster and laser, and we're doing all the extremity adjusting, but we always want to reinforce it with proper stretching, proper strengthening to get maximum results, whether this is for the general public or you're elite and your job is to be bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody else. Now here again, the Calf Master is just lots of versatility you can do with that. Don't ever underestimate just proper stretching as well. And so when we use just a typical slant board, there are so many people that are so inflexible. And when you start testing hundreds of people that do not have knee pain and plantar fasciitis and neuromas, and you get kind of just a standard baseline, and then you test the people that come into your clinic that do have chronic knee pain, chronic foot pain, and you will easily see a huge difference between just function, mobility, and flexibility of these people. Now this is the slant board I like. We carry this on our website because this is hands down the best, most versatile slant board I've ever seen. Number one, it's made of metal. This thing weighs 13 pounds, and that's not so heavy, but it's stable. People feel real confident stepping on it. It also has 4 different levels to where you can set it as. And so we use this as an examination device as well as a training device, because we mark on where your flexibility is at with consistent use, how you can improve it. Now again, we never increase flexibility without increasing strength through that new range of motion. So this is incredibly simple, but again, a very effective piece. Doesn't take up much space. You can put it in numerous places around your clinic. And it's just that simple to come up on it and stretch. Keeping the heels down, you can do 1 foot at a time. And it just feels really, really good in order to just use a stable device to help increase the flexibility, decrease that fascial tension. Again, think of your anatomy between the foot and the knee, what those adhesions do, how soft tissue constrictions affect the neurology, and it leads to all those symptoms. But hopefully, when you get younger people and the youth athletes into your clinic, or you're going to them and help them train, that you can identify some of these imbalances way before they ever have problems, and you actually take them to performance benefits, not just being a symptomatic practitioner. So these are offered on our website. They come in packages as well. You can get bulk discounts if you're interested in that. So we're happy to help you bring this great, useful information into your clinics.